Betrayal, grim power struggles, and tactical conquest. Game of Thrones Kingsroad may be the next obsession for you. So, let's dive into the intro and check it out.
Power is a fickle thing. It is fleeting, volatile, passed around between the ruling houses of the 7 kingdoms of Westeros like a well-worn coin since records began. That is, until King Robert Baratheon, first of his name, wrenched it away from his predecessor and brought prosperity to the realm. Yet, how fragile is the peace built upon war? With Robert's death, 5 would-be kings rose up to pry the crown from his still warm hands.
When kings squabble, it's the realm that bleeds. Its people neglected and left to fend for themselves. Few know this better than the forgotten brothers of the Night's Watch, sworn to defend the great wall of ice that stretches across the north.
Beyond it lies a frozen wasteland, inhabited by savage, wildling tribes who would see Westeros burn. Although, it may not be fire we should fear, but ice, if the tales ring true. For if the Watch is to be believed, whatever stirs up there in the dark brings a fate far colder than death. Even so, their pleas for aid are lost on a realm that refuses to remember.
Fortunately, there are still those who do heed the Watch's call. In the far reaches of the north, the master of a lowly house calls upon his bastard child for aid. For if the Night's Watch falls, who then will stand between us and the cold? Yes, power is a fickle thing. But winter is coming.
As fans of the Grimdark, the Venn diagram between Game of Thrones and Warhammer are pretty much a circle. There's going to be some edges on either side, but a lot of people love both. And because of that, I was super excited to be invited to be involved in Game of Thrones Kingsroad and its big push to share its game with everyone. It's a very fun game to play. I've been able to dive into it a little bit, and it's really fun to be back in Westeros, to be able to follow the story that this game has. And the story so far has been fantastic. I'm not super far into it. Like we discuss every time I do a game review, a lot's going on, but everything I've seen so far and the reviews and all of the cool stuff that I've been able to do so far has been fantastic. And I absolutely would recommend this game, especially if you're one who likes a little bit more narrative gameplay. The intro and the beginning is very narrative heavy, so it's one that I really enjoy. If you're a fan of political scheming, there's a lot of actions you can do to build that and develop it and give yourself more power over time. You also do a lot of house management and growth to build up your ranks and strengthen yourself as well. You also do a lot of brutal power dynamics, which are a lot of fun to see and to go about doing. It's something that you don't see a lot in games. The closest thing I can think of to it would be maybe the Crusader Kings series with the political intrigue that you get to do on the back end. It's a lot of fun. And this game really is worth playing. On top of that, you get to be very faction involved, just like Warhammer 40k is. And I'm guessing by my previous videos, especially the one where I turned House Stark into a Space Marine Successor chapter, you can guess which route I went. And it was a lot of fun to do. It was totally worth it. I ended up playing a Hedge Knight, and I really, really enjoyed it as my main character. The character build process was really cool as well, and something I really enjoyed. On top of that, it does a very good job of hitting that grimdark theme that both Game of Thrones and Warhammer 40k use pretty heavily. And it's absolutely something that I enjoy. It's something I look for in a lot of games. I like that grimdark where you're on the edge of hope and there's maybe some potential, but it still feels like it could go wrong at any second. And that ability to run that edge of grimdarkness while also having the intrigue needed and the subtlety needed to accomplish your missions is really, really fun. So next, let's talk about the gameplay mechanics and go from there. So one of the things I really enjoyed about this game is it does a really interesting job of balancing a little bit more of the RPG side with the larger conquest styles. So like Total Rome or Crusader Kings. You have a lot of that house management to maintain loyalties and strengthen power and control, while you also have some of the major fighting situations. You also have intrigue and espionage and blackmail style stuff that I really enjoyed. And like I said, one of the parts of the gameplay I actually enjoyed the most is how intricate the actual character setup is. It's something that isn't super common in a lot of these games, but being able to build my character to the point where it looks pretty close to me, I was actually fairly surprised. So I'm going to throw up that video so you can see what that looks like as well. You get to live out that grimdark fantasy you've always wanted and really enjoy it. You have a lot of faction loyalty stuff. You can really build your faction and strengthen them to the point where you can actually control it and lead it into combat. On top of that, you do have a really good narrative-driven story in this as well, which is one of the two big qualifications I have for a video game. It either needs to have a very good story or it needs to be very tactical. And this one checks both boxes. So I absolutely love it. The best part of this, it's free to play. You can get on and play as much as you want. It is a really fun free-to-play game that has a really cool story. So I definitely recommend checking that out and seeing what it's all about. On top of that, this game is developed for you to do a lot of long-term planning and strategy and building up everything you do so that you have the power and abilities to go about what you're wanting to accomplish. And this is one thing that I really enjoy as well. It gives you a lot more of that strategic feel. So if you haven't already guessed, I really enjoyed Game of Thrones Kingsroad. It was definitely one that I'm going to be playing for a long time. And it really does kind of fill a niche for me. I've enjoyed a lot of narrative games like Baldur's Gate and some of the Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order games. You give me a good story, that's what I really enjoy. And that's a game that will suck me in for a long time. It is one of the big things that I look for. On top of this also does kind of state my desire for a lot of tactics and strategy. It checks all of those boxes. So this is one for me that I absolutely recommend, and I think you guys will really enjoy if you check it out. Once again, it's free to play on Steam, so make sure you go take a look and see if it's something you want to do and see if it's something that you'll enjoy. To wrap us up today, I wanted to ask you guys one thing in the comments. If you were to pick your house, who would you use to represent them in Warhammer 40k? Which faction would match which faction, and why? I'm looking forward to seeing which factions you guys think match House Lannister, or House Stark, or the Targaryens. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We have a lot of really cool videos coming out. We're doing some more video game content down the road, as well as our Warhammer 40k stuff. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. Link will be in the description below so that you can support us. And you can also vote on at least 2 of the videos per month, depending on what sponsored videos I have, and help us decide what direction you guys want to go with this on this channel. And I will talk to you guys later.